This video is sponsored by Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community of creative, like-minded makers where members can find endless inspiration, advance their skills, and discover their new favorite hobby. With over 2,000 classes and more than 20 creative categories, there's always something new to learn. Classes are broken down into easy-to-follow lessons with downloads and are led by friendly, award-winning instructors sharing their tips and tricks that will make any creative endeavor a success. Class topics include quilting, sewing, knitting, crochet, painting, drawing, cooking, baking, and cake decorating, among many others, and many more to come. I personally have been enjoying a class on sewing zippered bags as giftable projects. If you're a beginner crafter or a master of your craft, there's always more to learn as a member of Craftsy. Today is the day to become a new member of the Craftsy Creative Community. I have a link provided below to make it super easy. The first 1,000 of my subscribers will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. So click that link. Stop dreaming, start learning, and stay inspired. Hello, welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is a Finish It Friday. This is where we check out what I've gotten done this week and also what some of you have gotten done, which is way more than what I got done this week. But I did do some things, as you saw on the Wednesday video, which was a little bit of a train wreck. I constructed a scrap stash busting quilt with some captions, lots of captions, because probably could have constructed that a little bit differently than how I originally proposed to do it. So real-time sewing, if you like real-time stuff, this is reality sewing here a lot of times, and I feel like I maybe have redeemed myself, so I will show you what I've worked on as far as that quilt goes. I got the entire middle section done and the outer borders. So if you check out this picture, I'll put two pictures up, one of the whole quilt and then one a close-up of the binding that I'm considering. As you can see here, I put a thin border. That was a 2-inch strip that I put on there, so it comes out to 1.5 once it's all sewn in, and then I put a 3.5-inch border of the peach. So I thought, okay, I regretted that I did not use that peach for where the pink little slivers are. I wished I would have used that peach, but I think I'm okay because that peach was exactly the color in the charm pack, but that would have meant I would have had to have kept out some of those really almost exactly the same peach ones if you look at it. So I like it now. I like it a lot more than I originally did once I decided I didn't like the pink. Now I like the pink because I've got the peach in there as well. And then if you also notice in this other picture, I've got some green fabric mocked up. It's a green on green, and it's the same kind of shades as in the charm packs that have green in them. So it has a little bit of a leafy, foresty looking design on it. It's the right shade or color family. Goes with the theme fine. I'm gonna use that as binding. If you have any other ideas on binding, I would love to listen to them, but I think this is the right thing. I put the pink out there again for maybe a binding possibility, but it just kind of disappeared against the peach. So it would have been okay, but I think putting the green on will, although I don't like things that are really starkly framed out, which the medium tone green isn't. I think that's why I like that. I like it on this particular quilt because it is pulling back and forth from the binding and the squares that have the green. So that's my 2 cents on that. You might have a different opinion. I'd be anxious to hear what, how you feel like this should go, but as for now, this is what I'm going with. The only thing I can change at this point is the decision on the binding. So, it has little campers on it, the little old-fashioned campers, and I think there's a edge-to-edge design, quilt design that has those on it. I think I've run across that in my library of designs. I think that would be cute on it, or possibly something from the floral there that's in some of the squares, especially the black ones. You can really see the little floral bouquets, and I have edge-to-edge patterns that are like that. That's it. I'm telling you, that's about all I did. My idea was to get into some of my weekly, monthly, bi-weekly block, I almost said block parties. Not block parties, but, you know, the group thing. I did print out some patterns. I got my blockheads number 13, I think it is, or 14. I've got the pattern printed out. I've got another pattern printed out that I need, the Jolly Bar 5 sew along, and I have let me see, the flowering. I need to do that. That's in the sew sampler box. You can see that back there. I'll show it to you on Monday. I think I can show it if that's the 30th or later. So yeah, I thought maybe today I would get some things cut out for those, but I did not. Today, Thursday, but today, Friday, yes, I am going to be working on those because the binding for this other little quilt over here needs to wait until it's quilted anyway. I may go ahead and sew it up so that it's ready and put it on a binder board and keep it with the quilt top, take it in there, and I'll remember hopefully that, oh, I already made binding for that, so I'll put it with it. I can't think of anything else that I got into so far this week. Like today, I told you I would probably be doing those sew along type things. I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get into year finishes for this week. We have a handful and they're very interesting. So let's go. First up, we have Carol. She says, my daughter sent me a pic from Pinterest of a bag she wanted for her 50th birthday. I used a 5-inch charm pack and some matching yardage for the lining and handles. No pattern. The fabric is Summertime Daydream 5-Carat Crystal by Jennifer Ellery for Wilmington Prints. This is really cute. You did a 9-patch type of bag here with some beautiful prints in navies and reds. Gotta love the Wilmington's rich colors that they put out. Very pretty, and you did it also in the rag style, which is, you deal with each one of those squares all the way through to the quilting and then sew them together. So that turned out to be fairly easy. I'm assuming the ends also have 5-inch squares, or maybe you halved it. I don't know. But it's cute, and I love that you added the extra bow on there and the big wooden button. Lots of room for creativity there on bags. You did a great job, Carol. Next we have Linda. This is amazing. And look at the ribbon. You'll see the ribbon here in a minute. I'm going to show you all 3 of her quilts here with ribbons on them. It says the wool table topper. The first one is called Penny Garland from a pattern and a class by Kim Deal. She started it in 2015 and finished it in 2023 and exhibited it at the fair in 2024. Beautiful. Got the hexagonal shape with all the wool applique, and you got best of division. Wonderful work there, Linda. The next one is Wool Garden. It It's a pattern by Cheryl Gunn of Waltzing with Bears. She started it in 2010 and finished it in 2023 and exhibited it at the fair in 2024. And it looks like you got a best of division for that one as well. And wow, the quilting. The applique, the wool applique is amazing, but also the extra quilting that you did on each of the squares and rectangles is outstanding. And then you also have some, I forget what those are called, but those little wheels that are in the border there, you crochet those up, right? You do that with yarn, like a thin yarn. And she's added that on there. Awesome. And then the next one is also a best of division in the Western Idaho Fair. This is pretty. She's calling it Stripe Study Number 1. And that's an original design of hers. It started in 2021 during COVID lockdown with only fabrics in my stash. I finished it in 2023 and exhibited it at the fair in 2024. You had a very busy quilting year in 2023. I hope you're still going through your projects. You said, I'm continuing to work through my large stack of unfinished projects and finished quilt tops to bring more of my projects across the finish line. She's from Eagle, Idaho, and your quilts are well received at the fair. Good for you. Congratulations. Sushma. This is her progress on 8 of Corey Yoder's Mystery Block of the Month that she's having going on right now. Quite excited to see where it lands, she says. It's improving my skills for HSTs. And she's working with Corey's line Callie & Co. Colors are vibrant and beautiful. And she says she recently purchased a Moxie XL with Pro Stitcher Lite and is in learning mode. Good for you. Yeah, this is awesome. You'll be able to quilt up all your quilts. I've been watching Corey Yoder's blocks as she makes them, but I'm not participating. But the blocks are beautiful. Great job, Sushma. Giselle also has made some bibs, and she wanted to share her version here. She made a terry-backed rib and a reversible drool bib for a friend's baby. And she also made a cute quilted sleeping bag with a built-in pillow for her 2-year-old's favorite stuffed animal. So you can see in the first 2 pictures there, the bibs on both sides. And then there's the little bag for the teddy bear. Isn't that cute? Very cute. I'm enjoying making those little bibs. I need to make some more of those too. Next we have one from Cassandra, and she made 2 baby quilts. And the first one here, she says these are for her great nieces. One was born in May and the other one in August. And the first girl born in this family, she said, these are the first girls born in this family in 28 years. So yes, they deserve quilts. Both quilts were made from scraps. The lilac quilt pattern is Dizzy Bright, backed with a flannel unicorn print. And she quilted it on her 6-needle embroidery machine using Amelia Scott's Heart Meander pattern. And then the pink quilt pattern is Playpen, and it's backed with a polka dot flannel. And she quilted it with her Qunique 15 Pro on the Q-Zone hoop frame that she's still actually learning on. And she used a bubble pattern from My Creative Stitches for the pantograph on that one. Very good. Yeah, you get some nice machines, and it really ups your quilting game, doesn't it, Cassandra? Danae said this is her finish for this week. She needed a baby quilt, so she took a few of her stitch and flip half square triangles. You know, those little pesky triangles we cut off. Well, she sews hers up. So she made a block of 16 and put a 2-inch border around that. And then she added a 2-inch sashing and cornerstones. And behold, I had a small quilt. Decided it needed a border. I cut that at 4.5 inches. For the back, I didn't have quite enough fabric, so I improvised by adding a strip of the same gray as the sashing and border. I had a couple of stray blocks, so I added those in for a little bit of color. It finishes at 47 by 57. The mom-to-be is my neighbor, and she loves it. And they're going to be surprised by the gender. So you did good here. This quilt will go for either boy or girl. See what you can do with those tiny scraps that I put in the Lucy bin? You can make some cool little blocks like this. Great. It's great. Annie said this quilt has been in the works for about 40 years. It's the apple core pattern. And she said she saw a picture of one that was a charm quilt with each piece a different fabric. And she started cutting one every time she cut into a different fabric. So whatever she was working on, she went ahead and cut her a 5-inch square. She said some were scraps from my sister, some from my grandmother, some from my only daughter's many clothes. She has 5 brothers, so can't cut much from the brothers' clothes, can you? And she was the best dressed girl ever. So lots of nice prints from the daughter's clothes. There are hundreds of memories in this quilt, and I'm so happy to display it on my bed. There are about 1,500 pieces, and every one was from a fabric I used. It grew to be too big, no surprise there. I always get carried away. It's 128 by 94 inches. Well, you know, you've got yourself a king-size quilt there. It's beautiful. I love the apple core. I'm assuming you used just an apple core template for that. And then those just sew right up together. That is really neat. 40 years of memories. That's something to think about, you younger quilters out there. If, you know, you think you're going to be a long-time quilter, just, you know, cut out a piece of everything you work on and just keep adding it to this quilt in the back. And before long, or after a long time, like 40 years, you'll have yourself a king-size quilt. Great job, everyone. Okay, nice show this week. Nice stories. Love all of that stuff, don't you guys? I know you do. Keep sending your finishes in. I was a couple short this week, so if you've been thinking about sending your photos in to finish it Friday, don't delay. We can get you up on the big screen right away. I think I'm a poet and didn't know it. Do y'all see Blue back here? Hey, Blue. Blue. Hi. You want to say hi? You're just lounging down there, aren't you? This is what he does all day. Occasionally, he will get up and go to the door and want out just for boredom. But if it's a nice day, well, even if it's not a nice day, if he wants to go out, I'll let him go out. But he hangs in here quite a bit with me. And sometimes he gets up and I say, okay, go lay back down. And he'll go right back and lay back down. He's such a good boy. Hey, Blue. Are you a good boy? You are a good boy. Yes, you are. Alright, so, like I said, I'm going to get into those blocks this weekend and try to whittle through those little sew-along, quilt-along things. And I hope you have something nice to work on this weekend, too. I'm getting a little bit bored with the Wednesdays stash scrap busting projects. I have to spend so much time on those to give you some kind of result sometime during the week, whether it be on that video for Wednesday or for Friday. I need to get it done. So 2 weeks in a row now I've had to do full complete quilts, albeit smaller ones. They were still a lot of work. So I'm itching to get into something else, some other project. I'm starting to think about the fair next year a little bit more, and I want to get started on something already. So I don't know. I've got the itch for a big project to start. Alright, have a great weekend. I will see you back here on Monday Quilt Chat to see what's going on in my quilty world and in the quilt world in general. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.